It's 2:01. This is the Evidence Show. You're in the right spot if you want to talk about evidence issues, specifically or specific to law enforcement, more specifically, I suppose. But if you want to find out more about what we do here at the Evidence Management Institute, that website in the screen, evidencemanagement.com, check us out. There are lots of resources there, lots of free resources. That we have a training class, a one kind of a 7-hour training class that you can take advantage of. That's completely free. There's a completion exam at the end. We've got some self-audit tools on there, the e-health check that you can take advantage of. Lots of resources on that website. A lot of documents, a lot of documentation. If you've ever seen one of our shows in the past and have questions, all of the documents, we try to put them on our website, make sure that they're available to you in real time, 24/7. So that's fun. I still want to go through, see where people are from. Kentucky, Edmond, Oklahoma. You might know my cousin. Uh, so Edmond is a really nice suburb of Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City.
All right, we'll get started. I will stop kind of checking and we'll go ahead and get started here. So hopefully when I hit this little key, it will advance the slide. It did not. So we'll go back and move my mouse just kind of awkwardly. Dadgummit. That's going to make me angry. But I'm practicing. There we go. All right, now we're cooking with gas. So want to just direct your attention to a few things. If you've watched this before, you could probably just fast forward up until the next few slides or so. But one of the things that we like to point out to people and like to have people join, I think there are over 1,000 evidence custodians, excuse me, and evidence managers on the Facebook community forum. And we try to build a place where you can establish some community. This can be a very isolating profession, and you might not necessarily work with a lot of folks every day, especially if you're from a smaller department. But this is a place where you can go to get questions answered and seek out information on things that might have stumped you in the past week. So we would encourage you to join the Evidence Community Forum there on Facebook. It is a private forum. The administrators will let you in. Um, I'd like to say that I do that, but that's a goal for 2023 is participate more on that. Not the best Facebook person. I'm working on it. I do love Facebook Marketplace though, so maybe I should just take a cue and go from there. But join that forum. It's a good resource, especially if you're new. There's no better place to start. But I also like to give a plug every month or every time we do this to Tracker Products. They have
Tracker.
they have kept the lights on here for us for gosh, almost
3 years.
5 years. Yeah, at
5.
least 3 to 5 years. Not good at math, but as long as we've been here, Tracker's been here with us. And I actually used their products when I was not retired, when I was working in law enforcement, doing the job that you do. Um, love their stuff. Check them out. You can find out more at trackerproducts.com. So we've had a partnership with them since day one. In fact, that's how we started. It was conversations between me and the folks at Tracker about, hey, let's do something different. Let's do something fun. I think it'll be cool. And they said, yeah, we do too. So we did. And that's why we're here. So check out their website. But most of you, hopefully all of you are here to talk about something, evidence. Yeah, but this is volume 3 of our minor Christmas miracle edition. And really, that's kind of what we're just going to do today. We're going to talk a little bit about Christmas. We're going to have some giveaways or some grants that are available to you if you watch the show. And we'll even extend it to people that have watched the show on the YouTube channel up until December 31st. So if you missed it live and you're watching it and it's now December 32nd, you're not eligible. Don't bother. But up until December 31st of 2022, you're eligible for whatever we discuss on this particular show today.
You know.
Um, don't have a lot in terms of new material for you, but we want to debunk one thing. I wrote in the little email that we send out to try to get people to watch that there's a saying that good things come in small packages. Well, they don't. Uh, the evidence point today, or the rant for today, is please just don't use small packages. Good things don't come in small packages. Use packages that you can see, packages that you can fit on a shelf, packages that aren't going to slip in between the cracks of your shelf or a filing cabinet. That was just free. That's really not what we're talking about today. But we did want to throw that in there. Things that we are going to talk about, again, at the end of every year, we like to talk about kind of four things that we're thankful for, things that we're looking forward to, and gifts that you can give, and then gifts that we can give. And I'd like to think that we're here out of the goodness of our hearts, purely altruistic in our motives. So that's just how we're going to proceed. But that's what we're going to talk about today because it's Christmas. And what better time to talk about those things? One
Better
thing
time.
I'm not thankful for is my mouse and being able to advance the screens. I'm not thankful for that at all. But we are thankful for you. There are a lot of you that we see every month. Every time we do one of these, we see a lot of familiar names and people that we've actually met when we've been on the road, which has been nice and fun. Um, so we're thankful that you're here and that you're with us and that you're paying attention and that you care about the role that you do. We're thankful for the fact that people do the job that you do. People that manage evidence from cradle to grave. Without the work that you do, justice simply doesn't happen. And really, there would be no point for our existence if you didn't do the work that you do on a daily basis.
It's true.
So, a couple other fun things that we're thankful for. After 29.75, is it 29.75, James?
29.75 and a third, I believe.
All
It's like
right.
a multiple decimal point.
And that all counts towards your pension. But James Nally retired uh, this year. What day was it?
November 4th,
November 4th, uh,
2022.
2022, from the Orange County Sheriff's Office in beautiful Southern California. So I just wanted to say publicly, congratulations, James.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
he's been a tireless supporter as an evidence custodian on the front lines for 30 years, and he's been with us for the last 2 years. So just want to say thank you, and it's been fun working with him. But
Much appreciated.
we've got some news.
Some
James
new.
has taken a new role, and I think he's going to excel and thrive at it. He's still going to be able to give to the evidence community out there, especially in California. But James has taken a new role as a salesperson at Tracker Products. Lo and
Wow.
behold, so congratulations to James. I
Thank
wish
you,
this were
sir.
water, but I think it's going to be fun, and you'll be able to add a new dimension to that whole process, and I think it'll be cool. So
That's
James will
awesome.
still
Awesome.
help me from time to time, but his role here is going to change, and he's going to be seeking new opportunities. But James, I just appreciate what you do, appreciate what you've done, and thank you for your help. So I wanted to say that in public.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you.
Thank you.
And in all fairness, you are a pioneer in your industry, the way you take and handle evidence. So, evidence management, and I've appreciated the opportunity to work with you over the past few years. And with Tracker Products, I think it's just going to give me another avenue, another layer to help find solutions for folks and help to stay in the industry that I love and still get to talk evidence on a daily basis. So I appreciate the folks at Tracker as well.
Very cool. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. So I'm excited for things to come. One of the things that we're particularly thankful for this year is we just changed the way that we do training. Now that there's a two-part process there. The first thing that we did was change the way people pay for training. In 2022, again, partnering with Tracker, they sponsored all of our training classes. And our training classes in 2022 were offered at no cost to the agency and no cost to the participant. So I was thankful to do that and have that opportunity and get out there and teach live again. But we're going to continue that in 2023. And we're going to make some different tweaks to our training that we think are going to be beneficial uh, for the folks that attend our classes, and for those that don't, uh, I guess not. But we're also working on we're thankful for our old partnerships. We're working on developing new partnerships within the industry.
Hmm.
I believe that the way that this thing works and the way that things change is if we all kind of pull in the same direction. So we're going to continue to work with state associations. Love working with the folks at PEEF and NIPIT in New Mexico. We'll continue to work with them at CAPE in California.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just it's it's fun working with people to right the ship and to change the culture of evidence throughout the country. And we're working on new partnerships. We're open to new partnerships as well. We're also working on new corporate partnerships and ways of sponsoring training so we can get our message out and get people trained up without burdening the agency. So those are some things that we're particularly thankful for. We're also thankful for live in person training again. I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago, there was a thing called the pandemic, and we were not able to train. And that's really how James and I got started kind of working together, as we were both sitting around in quarantine and we still wanted to train. So we did some online training. But now the world is open again, and we're starting to schedule classes. We're excited. We've got the first 4 or 5 planned out. We got more in the works, but we're going to be in Palm Springs, California, January 31st and February 1st, and that's in California. We're
California.
also going to be up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, in the heartland in the Midwest in the month of March. In May, we're going to Kansas City, Missouri. I don't think I've ever been to Kansas City, Missouri, but I'm excited about that because they have new and unique barbecue and they've got
Yes.
baseball. So
And
excited
football.
about that. Yep.
Football.
Yeah. Oh, and that kid did go to Texas Tech. So
Yeah.
that's another thing. In September, we're going to partner with NIPIT. This might be a little earlier, premature to release it, but we're going to be I'm about 99.9% confident we're going to teach our 2-day live in-person class at the NIPIT conference in New Mexico. So we're looking
Wow.
forward to that. Just spoke with them last night. Love those folks. They've been coming to our classes since the beginning. We've been to their conference. I love conferences, so we're going to partner together at that one. So stay tuned for those. We're also in the works or trying to plan. Whoops, there we go. That's
Oh,
backwards.
Sean, can I just
Yep,
jump in real quick for a sec?
you may.
So actually, the Palm Springs, we're going to try something a little different. I think it's going to be a trend within these 2-day live trainings. We're going to try to do a little team building exercise. So for those folks that are going to Palm Springs, I'll be sending out an email as we get a little closer about a team building exercise. Looks like this year we're going to try and do something along the lines of a trip to the aerial tramway there in Palm Springs, the world famous Palm Springs aerial tramway. So
Very cool.
come on
That'll
down.
be
Cool.
that'll be fun. We're gonna try to get to Oklahoma City. We've worked out some details with Oklahoma. So if you're in Edmond, that's not too far away. Would also love to go back to Florida and Colorado. We don't want to interfere with any state association trainings or anything,
Mhm,
but we definitely want to be in Florida and Colorado, not just for fly fishing, but also for training. And we're working on some dates in Maryland and Jersey, I believe, as well.
mhm.
Well, as we release dates, we'll put them on the website, and we'll release training announcements. But we're trying to get our schedule pulled together. These things just come together slowly.
All right.
Um, but would
Also,
love to go ahead.
one other thing that you wanted to mention is later in the year, 2023, we're looking for another location in California, trying to do something in the greater LA or Orange County area. So if there's any folks out there listening from those areas, please reach out so we can get some one additional date booked in California.
All right, preferably near the beach. So, but we will be out there, and we'll be keeping updating. That sentence didn't make any sense, but we will keep updating you as we go.
Right.
One of the things that we've been trying to work on for a couple of years, and we're going to change the name to something else. But if you are in a state without an association, like Kansas or Oklahoma or Indiana or any one of those states, especially the ones that we're going to be in 2023, we would love to host and help you host a starting an association in that state. That's one of the things that we feel passionate about. We want to continue working on that in 2023, and we want to continue to build those associations up. We're going to partner with MAPE with the Missouri class
Mhm.
in Kansas City. And whatever we can do to support a state association, we will. If we can drive more members to your association and to your conferences and to your training programs, we want to do that. So, in areas that don't have them, we want to continue to grow those and build those. There aren't very many states with associations, and that is the absolute best platform for evidence custodians within any state. So we want to keep on that bandwagon and keep pushing in that direction.
Yeah.
Um, More things we're looking forward to. We're going to continue doing this once a month. The evidence show that's at the bottom. We're also going to work on changing our curriculum up. I don't know how many of you have sat through a 2-day class. I've taught them for years and years and years with various organizations, and they are somewhat painful. Uh, they can feel a lot like death by PowerPoint, but been in talks with some folks that are really good at not doing that kind of training. So we're looking at how we can change our curriculum in 2023. It'll be a slow evolution, but we want to get away from 2 days sitting in a seat, listen to me go, meh, 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 and showing you PowerPoint slides. There are better ways to learn. Adult human beings learn differently than that.
Absolutely.
Um, but right now, that's what we got. So for the first few, might look pretty similar to what's been out there because the information is critical. You need it, and we would love to change the way we deliver it. Really, kind of, we have a vision for pretty much everything you ever wanted to know about running an evidence room. I mean, everything to be taught and available online 24/7 in real time in searchable category kind of order, like a library, a learning library in little 60-second videos or maybe 90-second videos, something that you can watch on your phone when the question comes up in real time.
Hmm.
That's how people consume information now. They don't sit for 16 hours and wait to get an answer to one of their questions. They just don't. They probably never
Hmm.
have. But we want to break up the learning into smaller chunks and use the 2-day training class to more facilitate learning and learn like adults learn. So
Absolutely.
we're working on it, and we'll get there eventually. I want to reach out to some people. I don't think they're on today, but gonna reach out to them and see what we can do with the curriculum this year. We'll also be at conferences. James and I will be at Cape. I'll be at PEEF,
The third.
Love PEEF. It's right in Daytona Beach. So if you're in Florida and you haven't signed up, you can sign up today. And then Nippet in Albuquerque. We'll be there in uh, September. So we're
Cool.
just looking forward to being out there and working. I mean, I look back 2 years ago when we were stuck either in this office or in our homes, and we don't want any more of that. So we're looking forward to getting out there and doing things again. So
Yeah,
those are the things.
absolutely, Sean. And I think one thing that we were trying to do this year as well as cross train with other states too. I mean, just because Cape is in California doesn't mean that the surrounding states or even states from other sides of the country can't come to the Cape State Seminar. This year it's going to be in the wonderful city of Garden Grove, California, from April 3rd through the 7th. So it's a great opportunity. Even if you're a president or you sit on a board in another state, it's always great to see what other associations are doing. And I'm sure the state board, I'm not extending myself too far to say that the California State Board would love to entertain ideas with other states about how they run their state seminars and maybe even create a correlation of a mutual partnership between the states so you could visit one another's state seminars. So just throwing that out there. Hopefully, some folks will take advantage of that this year or this
Yeah,
upcoming year.
absolutely. I know that I, I was on the board at Tape It years ago, and I think we had the board of Nippet. visit us to kind of see
Uh-huh.
how things run. And that's,
Absolutely.
if you don't have a state association in your state and you're starting one, I promise you, reach out to a neighboring state. They want to help you. You know, we want to help
Yeah.
you. They want to help you. There is help available.
Hmm.
So even if you don't partner with us, there are other opportunities out there. It absolutely is something that people can get you off the ground. It is daunting. It is a pain. Um, but we've helped, one in Missouri and pretty much cradle to grave, help them get filed as a 501c3, help them get
That's awesome.
established as a corporation, set them up with bylaws and all those weird little things that you have to do to dot the I's and cross the T's, because there are very specific legal requirements for nonprofits, like being organized, being legit, having a
No
board, having
problem.
bylaws. So we'll help you with all that. It's not that big of a deal. You can do it. Um, let's see. So those are things we're looking forward to. But I do want to talk a little bit, really quick, about kind of the gifts that you, as an evidence custodian, can give. I think it's important to just take a moment of pause and think about what you do. When you look at what you give to the community, you actually, when we do our roles properly as evidence custodians, we're actually providing justice. Justice doesn't happen if there is no evidence to support the cases behind them, or if that evidence is tainted or flawed or uncategorized. If you don't know that the evidence exists and you can't produce the evidence, then it doesn't exist. And I come from a state and an area where evidence, especially biological evidence, that has been held by police agencies has proven exculpatory for people on death row, people that were convicted wrongly. We want the guilty to be convicted, but we want them also to be able to be confronted with all the evidence against them. So that's something that you do. Without you, that doesn't happen. Justice doesn't happen. Another fun thing is you actually are the only entity within law enforcement, well, not only, but mainly the only entity within law enforcement that actually restores people's property rights back to them. That's not unimportant. People are entitled to the things that they have. When law enforcement comes into contact with them or takes them away, you're the only person that's going to give it back to them. And that is no small or unimportant thing. We're in the business of restoring people's property rights to them. That's baseline constitutional law lived out through the job that you do. So that's something that you just do on a daily basis, even if it doesn't feel like it. It's incredibly important work. And
Thank
if
you.
no one else is reminding you of that, James and I want to remind you that the work that you do is important. It has meaning. It has value. And without the work that you do, justice doesn't get done. So,
Absolutely.
but there are also gifts that you can give back to your profession. And I want to encourage you to do one of four things today. Last year, we talked about random acts of kindness, which is fun. Some people did, and they told us about them, and that was fun. But let's be a little more intentional in 2023. One, if you have a state association, support that state association. If you live in California, join CAPE. If you live in Oregon, join and OAPE. I don't really have a word for that. But if you're in Texas, join TAPE it. If you're in Missouri, join MAPE. If you're in Colorado, join CAPE it. If you're in Illinois, join IAPEM. I know I didn't list all of them. I'm not trying to leave anybody out. But
That's
if you're in
pretty
a
good
state
that you remembered them all.
that has an association, join that association. And if you're in that association and you're just kind of sitting there getting emails and going to the conference and hanging out, uh, take the next step and
Yeah,
participate. Try to join the board, volunteer. These associations only exist because of their members. They exist for their members.
absolutely.
And you, as a member, can give back to that association and make your state even stronger. So that's number one. If you don't want to do that, which I hope you do, you can do all four. There's no prohibition against doing all four of these. Um, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone and call someone at the agency adjacent to you. Just get to know them. Take them to lunch. Um, I have found in many regions, in areas where this city and this city are right next to each other, and their evidence custodians know each other. There are few better connections to have than the folks working right next to you,
Sure.
especially within the same county or within the same state. You're dealing with the same district attorneys. You're still dealing with the same processes, but they might have an angle that you haven't thought about yet. So pick up the phone, get to know your neighbor. I suppose two and three are kind of the same, but know who your neighbors are. If you work in, like I'm in Carrollton, Texas, and if I don't know who the evidence custodian is in Louisville or Frisco or the Colony, that's stuff I need to know. That's part of the community. Those are folks that you need to know, but no one's going to force that to happen. So you have to pick up the phone, be intentional, build your own community. Um, part of being in a community is knowing your neighbor, but the other is being a neighbor. Find ways to help out the folks next to you. That's what we're trying to do here at the Evidence Management Institute. We just want to be a good neighbor, you know, and we don't always make the mark, but we're trying, and you can do the same. So, enough preaching. And this is going to be probably a pretty short little episode today. It's 2:30 my time, 3:30 if you're on the East Coast. It'll last longer if I can't make this slide advance.
It's
And
12:30 on the West Coast. You forgot us again. So
yes, yeah, I don't do well with time zones at all. And it's another time in the mountain somewhere. Yeah,
someone.
I'm not good at that. So, one of the things that we love to do at the end of every year is we love to do grants. And we don't, these aren't participation trophies. We actually want to be able to help people that need help. So the things that we can give as the Evidence Management Institute is we're going to give another year of training at no cost to our participants.
Yeah.
We're working with partnerships with different vendors to offset those costs, and we would love to have as many folks as possible attend those classes, and we'd love that to be a benefit to them as agencies and as evidence custodians. So that's one gift that we try to give, and whether or not you accept us or take us up on that, that's kind of up to you. But we'll be out there. We'll keep you posted as to where. Uh, we got two grants. One will be from Tracker Products, and one will be from the Evidence Management Institute. And they're basically two $500 grants.
Wow.
I would love to add another zero there, but we got to start somewhere. So um, two $500 grants. And the idea behind this, or the concept behind this, is if you're a police agency and you're running an evidence room and you need something that's specific that your unit needs. I don't want to buy Velcro or holsters or things that go boom for the SWAT team. We want to support you as the evidence custodian. All those other things are important, but trust me, if your agency needs guns, they're going to go out and get guns. It's evidence units that are usually underrepresented and under resourced. That's where we're trying to target these funds to. So, evidence specific for both of these. And if you're in attendance today and you send us an email, and I used to love to have James get these emails because I hate getting them, but send them to me at Sean@evidencemanagement.com, and we'll put you in a drawing for a $100 Amazon gift card as well. And that's for those of you that watched today. Um, today. So if you,
They put a secret code on that. Oh, it was recorded anyway. So
that's recorded. So we'll know. We have a little list. So if you want that or want to be in that drawing, want to be considered for that, that's just fun, just for paying attention and showing up. But the other two grants require a little more specificity. We want some more information from you because these are merit based. These are not participation trophies. This is not T-ball. This is law enforcement and this is evidence management. And it's a serious game with serious consequences. So there are no participation trophies. But send me an email at Sean@evidencemanagement.com. These are very important and very specific. Give us your name, rank if it's applicable, or title if it's applicable, your address and the agency that you work for, and then just tell us. Tell us what you need, why you need it, how you hope it will help your agency, and who's going to benefit from it as a result. We
awesome.
realize that these are small gifts, but hey, I've been in a lot of evidence rooms where something is better than nothing.
Yeah.
And this is, something we'd like to make available to you. And we will announce the results on January 23rd at our next thing that we do. The evidence show. We lost the title for it. So we'll go through these. I'll go through these. Well, the folks at Tracker will have access to them. We'll go through these, and honestly, we usually get a lot of really good requests, and we're just not able to do them all. We have to pick two, and we are going to pick the two that we think that little investment can make the biggest difference. So, what do you need? Why you need it? How you hope it will help, and who will benefit? I've got great ideas, and I'm not going to suggest anything because that kind of defeats the purpose. But the deadline will be December 31st. So if you're watching the recorded version of this on the YouTubes, then you too are eligible for that. Just get it in by December 31st. We'll read them all and we will make a decision. And thanks for the folks that have participated in the past. One of the things that we're not doing this year, we used to try to give away some tiny, tiny little small gift, but we're going smaller this year. The first year we tried to do it, I forgot about it for a long, long time, and then I made James do it. So we're not doing that this year. Just administratively, we got too many irons in the fire. I'd give you a big hug if I could, but that little one just ate my lunch. So if there are any questions or concerns, oh, and there are some cool. We do offer online seminars, and I'd love to come to Nashville. Hello, Frank. Good to see you on.
Good
And
old Frank.
he's a good guy. Uh, so yeah, now I just totally lost my train of thought. If anybody has any questions, I don't think that they do, so we're not gonna ask anymore. But please send us an email. Let us help you out, and we will talk about the results next month. Next month, January 23rd. We were going to do it this month, but circumstances beyond our control prevented us from doing it. And we were going to have Christmas anyways. So next month is going to be a very dry subject. And I think it's probably one of the most critical things to discuss for evidence managers in our industry. Um, this very dry subject is going to be about the last package of wet biological evidence ever. Um, I have been to too many agencies this year and last year and whenever in the past where wet biological evidence is routinely stored in packages, or when they're drying biological evidence, the only way that they determine whether evidence is dry or wet is kind of the lick test. And that's gross. So there is a better path forward. We're going to talk about reliable, better, best practices for drying wet biological evidence. I've seen it done every different way, and there's really only one that is reliable and an actual forensic process to where you know what dry is and you know when something is dry. So we'll talk about that very dry subject on January 23rd, and we'll have someone on the show with us that can teach us a little something about dryness.
Absolutely.
And I think that'll be fun. I think that'll be important. So that'll be at January 23rd, 2023, 1/23/23. And that'll be at 2 o'clock my time, a different time your time, depending on where you are. But that's it. So send us your requests and happy holidays. Thanks for being
Happy
here.
holiday.
Have a Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year. Uh, and thank you for paying attention. Thank you for being here. Have a great week. Merry Christmas, James.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas, Sean. Take care, everyone. Have a good one.
And to all, a good night. All right.